Long ago, before the sound of cars filled the air and tall buildings touched the clouds, there were villages where people knew the language of trees, drums, and the wind. In one of those villages, deep in the lands where the Igbo and Yoruba peoples lived, something strange happened. Something magical. Something confusing. Let me tell you the story of Kolechi and Ayuo, two boys who grew up miles apart, never knowing the truth that would shake two entire villages.
Kolechi was 10 years old. Strong, curious.
Mama, I just finished pounding yam for Papa. Are you training me to be a husband already? Everyone in the village loved Kolechi. He was respectful, intelligent, and loved playing Okwe, a local board game, with his friends. But there was something unusual about him. He didn't look like anyone else in his family. Not his parents, not his cousins. His skin was slightly lighter. His nose was shaped differently. Villagers whispered, but his parents always said,
"The gods make every child with their own hands. Kolechi is ours, and that is enough for us." Hundreds of miles away, in Ijegon, lived a boy named Ayo. Also 10 years old. Also strong and clever. But Ayo was often sad.
Ayomi, don't cry. Oloren knows why he gave you to me alone. Ayo had no father. At least, that's what Mama Sadi said. He never saw any pictures, and when he asked, she would look away.
"Why don't I look like anyone in this village, Mama? People call me Omo Igbo. They say I'm not from here."
You are my son. That's what matters. But the truth will find you when the time is right.
One year, both boys' villages sent dancers to a special festival held in a border town called Olaronda, where Igbo and Yoruba met to celebrate the spirit of unity. Both Kolechi and Ayo were chosen as drummers for their villages. It was their first time leaving home. Their hearts beat fast with excitement. As fate would have it, both boys arrived on the same day. That evening, they passed each other at the river while fetching water. They froze.
"Wait, you look like me," said Kolechi. Ayo, wide-eyed, responded saying, "You look like me." They walked in circles, examining each other like curious goats. "Wait, you look like me," said Kolechi. Ayo, wide-eyed, responded saying, "You look like me." They walked in circles, examining each other like curious goats. Kolechi laughed nervously. "Are we brothers?" Ayo, half joking, "Maybe twins separated at birth." They laughed it off, but the question burned deep inside them. That night, they couldn't sleep.
The next day, the boys secretly met in the forest and shared their stories, how they didn't look like their families, how people often said they weren't from around.
"Let's ask the diviner. My grandma once said the gods never lie." So they sneaked away from the festival and went to the shrine of Baba Olide, an old seer known to speak both Igbo and Yoruba. The air in the shrine was heavy. Smoke rose from burning herbs. Baba Olide's eyes were white like milk.
"You are brothers? Twins? Separated by pain and pride. Your parents were once one, but fate tore them apart. Two rivers, once one, now apart. Two seeds from the same pod. They seek truth, and truth shall be revealed." He looked at both boys, then spoke, "You are brothers. Twins. Separated by pain and pride. Your parents were once one, but fate tore them apart. Only your parents hold the full truth. Go home. Ask them. They owe you answers." Both boys returned to their villages with heavy hearts.
Papa, Mama, do I have a twin brother? There was silence. Popenkem stood up slowly.
You were born with a twin. During the naming ceremony, a fight broke out between our families and your mother's people from Yoruba land. They said one child was theirs. We said both were ours.
In the end, they took your twin. We thought we would never see him again. Kelechi wept.
Ayo asked softly, Mama, tell me the truth. Was I taken?
Mama Sadi, with tears in her eyes, said, Your father is Igbo. His family and mine fought during your naming. In anger, they took one child, your brother. We each took one son. I have carried this pain for 10 years, waiting for the gods to reunite you both.
The two families were brought together again at the next Olaronda festival. At first, there was tension. But when the two boys held hands and stood before everyone, the people knew the gods were speaking.
Kelechi said, smiling at Ayo, now I know why I never felt whole. You are my missing half. Ayo replied, we may have lived apart, but we'll never be separated again. The two villages performed rituals of reconciliation. Elders shared kola nuts and broke bitter leaves in a symbolic act of peace. The twins poured libations together, thanking the gods for revealing the truth.
Kelechi and Ayo grew up to become great leaders. They taught their people to value love over pride and peace over stubbornness. And every year, at the Olaronda festival, they would beat the drums together as twin sons of two proud cultures. Moral of the story is that blood is thicker than conflict. Sometimes pride and pain can break families, but truth and love can heal even the deepest wounds. Ask questions. Seek truth. And remember, no matter how far apart we may seem, we are more connected than we think.